Alright. So, freshly attached... Oh. Shifted into gear with the kickstand down.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I was so excited to try this out that I shifted into gear. Alright. Kickstand up. Shift into gear. And go ahead and lead the way. Oh, it feels good to be back.
Like that breeze.
Yeah, that's nice. So, I mean, first impressions, I don't know. I don't know if it's any better or any different, really. It feels different, but I can't, like, put my finger on it. I guess I'm further back in my seat.
A subtle change with the bar coming back toward you a little more. Your arms not bent, or more bent than before.
Yeah, it is very subtle. It's definitely something, but it's hard to tell really what. Something I noticed and was wondering about after the install is breeze over my knuckles.
Well, does the internet yet know what you've installed that we were talking about?
No. Well, I made an install video, so I'm hoping to put that out before, but I guess I should mention, I just put the Rock's 1.5-inch risers on my handlebars. They are not the adjustable 2-inchers or the rotating ones or anything like that. These are the stationary ones. But I noticed a little more breeze over my knuckles. We're going to give this a little bit of a ride here. I don't know. We're not going to be too long, I don't think. But it's my latest edition, and it took me quite a while because I stripped a screw. And actually looking at it, I guess I should say thinking back on it, I don't know if it would have been any faster if I hadn't stripped that screw, because I still had other issues to resolve.
You still had to remove the windshield, I guess.
Yeah, but like the other issues I had to resolve weren't something I would have noticed right away if I didn't have the screen still attached to the bars. Oh no. What the hell?
See, that's very complicated. You're going to have to explain yourself.
I mean, watch the install video and you'll understand, I guess.
Yes. Plugging the other video because it's details.
And I'm by no means an expert, right? So my tactics and my methods are probably not always recommended. And I used Loctite on some things that maybe I'm not supposed to because there's a torque spec.
And then I do Loctite on everything, aren't you?
Well, and I didn't Loctite certain other ones because it wasn't a nut. It was like a pressure nut, a rubber grommet that got squeezed with tension instead.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it to just spin in there if it was like glued in. So, but it's all kind of, I go over it and I say, oh, well, I'm going to Loctite everything, so here goes Loctite on this. And then I look at it and I say, you know what, I'm not Loctiting this because of this. So, my mistake at first that I didn't fully make, I changed my mind midway through whether or not to Loctite.
Should we take Highway F, you think, or 83?
We should just take 83. I should be.
Yeah.
I don't want the food getting colder. Yeah. But it was a good amount of work, and I guess none of it was hard, right? It was just getting it figured out how I needed to do it, and then it was a little bit time consuming.
Yeah, I was afraid to try that with my bike. I did not do that.
But you look positioned correctly. You look positioned well, like you're comfortable.
The seat change helps, pushes me forward just enough.
Well, it's interesting because you pushed yourself forward a little bit. With this handlebar adjustment, I feel like I'm sitting back further So
Yeah.
I pushed my whole body backwards by changing the handlebars. Instead of actually changing how much I'm leaning, my backside is up against the back of this seat. Like,
that might be more comfortable on a long trip.
right. Well, and it was before in certain scenarios, but it wasn't always. And now I feel like it's just always going to be back there. But if I scooch up a little bit, like I got a little more relaxed position, I don't know, it feels good so far. It feels really good. And I think it was, they were $60 or so, but it did take me, because I didn't watch anything, I just went in it. I didn't watch any videos on how to take off any different components. I just went right into it, and it took me a few hours because I was just literally figuring out what to wrench when.
So you performed a service for the for your YouTube community to see what not to do as well as what to do.
I definitely made some mistakes. Something that I should have just done right off the bat is taken off the fairing and the windshield, because they're just in the way. Everything you need is back behind those pieces, and if I would have just taken them off, then I would have had better visibility at what I was doing, and I probably wouldn't have stripped the bolt that I wish I had stripped. But I like them because they even did advertise that you don't have to fix your wiring afterwards. One of the things that made me a little nervous about the whole install was, will my wires still will they be too stretched? Will I have to, one thing that I've read a lot of is you have to extend your brake line or rerun the whole brake line for the front brake. And I really didn't want to go that in depth. I know it's not hard to bleed brakes. I just don't want to. And I would rather just do a bolt-on. That's all it was supposed to be, is a bolt-on.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
I'm almost surprised myself, because I knew I would get it back together. Once I had the handlebars on, there was a point, like when I had the handlebars on the risers, that I said, okay, there's no turning back now. Whatever it takes, it's going to happen. So I kind of worked from there. But having the handlebars on did not mean that I had the display on, because the display was actually the stressed wiring. So I had to find along the side where there was some slack. I had to follow it all the way down along the side of the frame to see where I could get some slack. And there was a tension. It was like a pressure point, intentional, to hold those wires in place, that I had to unbolt in order to give myself a little bit more slack. And once I did that, it didn't free up much, but it freed up enough.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's a little more wind across my knuckles at this speed, but it's not a lot. I'm probably further back in the pocket also with my hands, but I'm right at the top.
What's this guy doing? I don't like this. Left turn signal while he drifts to the right, parks it.
Oh, he's doing a U-E. Dear Lord, that could have been bad.
Sorry it didn't work out for the show.
What's that?
Like a disastrous accident where the guy does a...
Oh, come on. U-turns into you? I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. That'd be one for Dan the fireman. Like, we never ride in the evening like this, and it's almost 9 o'clock at night here, and it's getting kind of dark. The one time you go out, you get hit by a U-turner. You'll never go out in the dark again.
That's true.
And that's all the best wishes, that you are uninjured and survive. But man, a U-turner gets you on your first evening ride.
That'd be a good headline for the video.
Yeah, should we? We need a what is it? A thumbnail. Let's get the thumbnail shot.
You first.
So I mean, they're on. I don't know. It would really take, I think, a longer ride for me to know if it alleviated the little bit of shoulder pain that I would get from longer rides. I assumed that it was because my right hand doesn't get to release from the throttle. It stays on there pretty much the whole time. And so I needed a little bit extra reach. So I'd really have to see for a longer period of time if these risers are helpful or not. But I feel accomplished because I did one more thing on my bike that I really wanted to do.
Yeah, nice job.
So I'm looking now that I've touched them. Now that I touched them, I'm thinking, like, should I have leaned them further back? Like, my hand positions seem okay, but I'm noticing now, because I'm checking that type of stuff, my fingers to my clutch drop lower than my fingers to my brake. So like it was either wrong or adjusted differently from the factory to where my clutch lever is a lower grab than my brake lever.
Huh.
And now I'm like, well, do I need to adjust everything? I don't know. I started doing it. Now I don't know if I've got it. I don't know. I guess that's part of the fun. You get to make the adjustments. You get to try different things and see how it feels.
And eventually you kind of circle around the optimal arrangement that makes you feel best.
But I'm glad I did it, because now I know everything about that front portion and how it all goes together, how it all comes apart. With the fairing, there was some framework underneath the fairing, and I knew there was, but you take the fairing and the windshield off of the framework, and then the framework comes off from around the headlight. It's just interesting, I guess, and that's kind of stuff that I enjoy. But I was down there today in the basement, or in the garage in the basement over there, for a couple of hours, and the hours flew by because I was, tinkering.
Yeah.
I hadn't really been tinkering with anything since I was doing the RC cars.
Yeah. Well, that was good preparation for this.
What's this?
Motorcycle tinkering?
The RC cars were preparation for the motorcycle. Yeah. I see. Yeah, I mean, it's not my first mechanical rodeo, though. I mean, you remember
You've been doing it all your life, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I did that clutch without a lift or anything, just underneath the car. It took forever, but about 2 weeks every day after school underneath that stupid car until it was done.
You mentioned your creativity in art class ever since 8th grade.
Oh, yeah, well, that I didn't actually have to unbolt anything or do anything weird. I just had to do some convincing.
Some fast talking, man.
But I'm pretty pleased with these so far. I can't really notice a difference, and I don't know if it's supposed to be a noticeable difference or not. But I might, as hard as it was to tighten and loosen the handlebar, what are the clamp? What's that called?
Risers.
Yeah, well, the risers, the actual thing that clamps down your handlebars.
Triple crown?
No, but close, I think. Yeah, but
the headset?
Sure. So as hard as it was to get in there without taking off this electronics package, I might unloosen them just to try tilting back a little bit. But I sat on it after I did it, and I was like, okay, this seems about right. It seems like a good hand position. But now that I'm in the wind and I feel it and everything, I might need to lean it back a little bit more. But it feels good. I still feel in line with my forks. Like how it had that feel. It wasn't braked out or anything. And the handlebars just seemed like a straight shot all the way down to the wheel from the handlebars. balance. I still kind of feel like that, and I don't know if I want to screw that up by tilting my handlebars down.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, more to come on. Whoa, just pulling. Why are you moving, guy? Yeah, so I mean, we'll definitely talk more about it, and I probably won't do anything for a week or a month on it because I want to get a feel for it and then decide. But yeah, if you're watching still, if you're listening, please like and please like my video and please subscribe to my channel. I've got 100 and some change subscribers, and I'm trying to build a little following, I guess.
Motorcycle only parking?
That's not motorcycle only, is it? That's curbside pickup. We're not even curbside. We have to go in.
Oh, you're right. Reserved.
But you can pull forward just a little bit more and get in that one spot there.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go farther on over here. Where that guy parked. No, you know what?
I'm parking right there.
This one is good. Yeah, this one is better. Okay.
Don't hit me.
I want to park on a hillside if I don't have to.
Nope, I'm not doing that either. I'll make room. But I am going to leave it in gear when I put it on the kickstand to make sure it doesn't roll away.